How's it going today, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you 4 super easy weeknight dinner ideas that are all family approved, kid approved, and will keep you all satisfied and smiling at the dinner table. So make sure you guys stay tuned for these 4 great recipes. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Angela. I like to do videos on all things about motherhood, family, and lifestyle, and I would love it if you would click that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. All right, so for tonight, dinner number 1, I am gonna be showing you how to make an easy to put together beef Donair with crunchy coleslaw, pita, and then some French fries on the side for little ones, just to make it a little bit more kid-friendly. So let's get into this. All right, so for tonight's recipe, we need some ground beef. That is the hack here. Ground beef, pre-shredded coleslaw, parsley flakes, pita, mayo, shawarma spice, some potatoes, white wine vinegar, garlic, and if you have one, an air fryer. So first thing I'm going to do is peel all of the potatoes. I'm using 2 potatoes that I'm cutting them up into thin French fry size. All right, so I've popped my potatoes in with some water, and as you can see, the water is already pulling out the starch from the potatoes. That is the key to getting crispy, home fried potatoes, and obviously I'm gonna be using this air fryer. So I'm gonna soak these potatoes, dry them off really well, pop them in my air fryer with some seasoning. We're gonna have delicious, crispy homemade fries. Next, in a separate bowl, I'm gonna be dumping out this whole bag of pre-shredded coleslaw. And then to make the dressing for the coleslaw, I'm gonna be adding 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Then to that, I'm going to be adding in equal amounts of extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. Then to the top of the coleslaw, I'm going to be sprinkling in some dried parsley flakes. Fresh would be better, but I just did not want to go to the store. So dried parsley flakes it is. Adding the dressing to my coleslaw, give it a toss, and it is so delicious. All together. Okay, can you do that? Next up, we're going to be heating a large non-stick skillet pan over medium-high heat. When the pan is hot, add in a tablespoon of oil, then 2 garlic cloves. So I've drained the potatoes now, and Ava's job is to pat them all dry with this paper towel. Then we're going to pop them in the air fryer with some salt and pepper. I've decided to go with seasoning salt for my potatoes, give them a nice toss, and pop them in the air fryer. All right, so we're gonna be putting in the air fryer. I'm gonna say for 8 minutes, and then we're gonna toss it halfway through, and then in for another 8 minutes. All right, now to that heated skillet, we're gonna add in our ground beef and brown it fully until it's cooked all the way to 160 degrees. Now it's the Donair sauce, so it's 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 cloves of garlic. Give that a stir, and it is so tasty. After the beef has finished browning fully, you add your shawarma spice. So I always start with 1 tablespoon of the spice. Then we also add a few extra ground cloves just because we like it to be extra flavorful. By now, your kitchen should be smelling so fragrant, the spices smell great, your fries should be done, and now it's time to plate up. to dig into this easy weeknight Donair with homemade French fries, homemade Donair sauce. I am so excited. You guys gotta give this a try. All right, today is night number 2 for dinner, and tonight we are having a ground turkey teriyaki bowl. This is a great way to use up veggies that are about to go off in your fridge. Also, that coleslaw that we used last night for the Donair, I'm gonna use up some of that as well as kind of like a veggie side to this turkey teriyaki bowl. Now, Ava is not the biggest fan of veggies, so I'm gonna show you some ingredients and how I sneak in some extra veg. For this turkey teriyaki bowl, we obviously need some ground turkey. I use basmati rice, and then I'm going to use some peppers in that coleslaw. I'm gonna fry that up together. But then in the turkey, I'm gonna sneak in some shredded carrots and some green onion and then some garlic. But then for the sauce, we need some red wine vinegar, soy sauce, ground ginger, cornstarch, and some brown sugar and some white sugar. So if you don't have a rice cooker, where have you been? I'm gonna get my rice going. This is a really quick and easy dinner. This is a great way, like I said, to use up those veggies. All right, so I'm gonna get 2 pans going on medium to high heat and add like just about a tablespoon of oil. To the first pan, I'm going to add in my whites of the green onions. Get that cooking, and then also I'm going to be adding in 2 cloves of garlic. While that cooks, I'm going to start on the sauce. So we need 1/2 cup of low sodium soy sauce, and then 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar and 1/4 cup of water, and I stir that all together. Then I'm gonna get my ground turkey going, so I add that into my pan and start to brown that. But then to my soy sauce, I'm going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. And then also I'm gonna be adding in another 2 cloves of garlic. And I've also prepped 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Add that to a small sauce pot, and then you're gonna add in your garlic and your sugar and let that combine until it gets nice and bubbly. As the turkey continues to cook, I'm also going to be adding in some of those shredded carrots. Sneak those veggies in when you can, and carrots is something my little one doesn't mind eating. Next up, I'm going to be making a slurry, which is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to 2 tablespoons of water. Stir that together and add that to the sauce so it becomes nice and thick. Then we're gonna move over to our veggies. So my peppers and carrots have been browning. Then I'm gonna add that coleslaw, leftover coleslaw from yesterday's Donair. Also, I had some mushrooms that were about to go off, and this is a great way to use up those mushrooms in the back of your crisper. Then as you can see, the sauce is getting nice and thick here, so it's time to pour it over our ground turkey. Our veggies are smelling good. My rice is done cooking. You guys, this took me about 25 minutes to pull together, and we have a great, delicious dinner. So it is another night and another dinner. Now, it is a little bit chilly tonight, and I want to clean out my fridge, and no better way to do that and to have a nice cozy meal is to have breakfast for dinner. I love having breakfast for dinners. It is the best way to clean out that fridge. So I have some peppers. I have like a quarter of a bag left of frozen hash browns. So I'm gonna fry up some peppers and hash browns. I have some bacon that's been in the freezer for a while. So I'm gonna cook up that bacon. I have like the end of a package of eggs. So I'm gonna like scramble some eggs. I have the end of some toast. So I'm gonna cook up a big breakfast for dinner. And Ava's excited, I'm excited, and it's super easy. Anything goes. This is just what I'm gonna do for breakfast for dinner. Now for me personally, there is no better way to cook bacon than in the oven. So because I pulled this bacon out from the freezer, I just defrosted it a little bit. I cranked my oven up to about 400 degrees. I cook it about like 12 to 15 minutes per side, and that way my stovetop doesn't get all the splatter and grease, and then we crisp it up. We are definitely like a crispy bacon house. None of this like, yeah, no. Crispy all the way for bacon. All right, to a saucepan, I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to caramelize some onions. I'm gonna cut up that lonely pepper that was all by itself in my crisper, add that to the onions, and then add that to my hash browns and crisp them up. It is so tasty. I love getting Ava involved in the kitchen, and she is so interested, so I'm taking advantage of this. So obviously we were being extremely safe here. She has to put one hand behind her back and the other hand has to rest on my wrist, but I just want to start teaching her like really safe knife skills and teaching her about vegetables and what vegetables are the best to eat with which foods, and she's so interested. And the best thing is, it's making her want to eat more healthy dinners and eat more of her dinners because she's the one who's actually cooking it with me. Lots of you were interested in some of my dinner recipes, my snack recipes, and I'm loving this. So I think I'm going to be doing more like cooking content, what I feed my family. Let me know down in the comments below if you are interested in this. I am loving it, and I am so excited to start delivering content that you guys actually want to see. So if you have some more content ideas or things you want to see that I do in a day, please let me know down in the comments below. Also, I would love it if you would click that subscribe button. I am so excited for all of the followers that I have here, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you landed on this video, and follow along for more. So a major hack for you guys, as well as cooking bacon in the oven, I always line my baking tray with tin foil and make sure that it curves up along the sides because that keeps all the grease in. After I take out my bacon, I let everything kind of like solidify, and then all I gotta do is toss away the tin foil. No dirty dishes, no extra cleaning. Obviously, I cleaned the pan. However, all the bacon grease stays in the tin foil. It doesn't get on the cookie sheet. It's way less mess than cleaning up a frying pan and cleaning up a stove. So after I take my bacon out, I always line a dish with paper towel just to catch whatever grease is falling off that bacon. I know that bacon's not the healthiest, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. And this is just one step to make me feel a little bit better about having bacon for dinner. There we have our breakfast for dinner, our hash browns with onions and peppers, bacon, cheesy scrambled eggs. And then to go along with that, I just have some toast. So now everybody can just come and dish up what they want. It is so quick and easy. It is delicious. Also, it keeps in the fridge and is a good way to have like a quick breakfast in the morning. I can make like a scramble with it all. It is perfect, so it's really like a 2-in-1 dinner. Any excuse to have bacon for dinner. All right, tonight is night 4 for easy weeknight dinners, and it does not get simpler than this. Tonight we are making a 1-pot dinner. You heard that right, 1 pot, which is a 1-pot beefy, cheesy taco pasta. It's like a tribute to Hamburger Helper. Let's get into this dinner. All right, so for this dinner, these are the main ingredients that we need. We need some lean ground beef, a can of Rotel tomatoes. You need some tomato paste, a package of taco seasoning. I always get the 30% less sodium. You need some pasta shells. I only have the small shells on hand, and those are the ones that I'm gonna use. We need some chicken broth and beef broth, so I'm just gonna make some broth out of this bouillon. You need some cheese, garlic, Worcestershire. How do you say this?
Worcestershire.
You know, the sauce that nobody can pronounce. We need some milk, and then what's not pictured here is just a tablespoon of butter. All right, to a pan that has been heated up to medium-high heat, I've added in my ground beef, and I'm going to brown my ground beef and then drain the grease. So I emptied my Rotel tomatoes to a separate bowl and drained the grease into there. After my beef has browned, I add in a tablespoon of butter and then also 2 cloves of garlic minced. Let the garlic cook for a few seconds till it becomes fragrant. Then to that, I'm going to be adding in my full package of taco seasoning and brown that. Then I'm going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 1 tablespoon of, let me try this again, Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to stir that all together so that everything becomes coated with the tomato paste. Then I'm going to be adding in 1 cup of beef broth, 1 cup of chicken broth, and 1 cup of 2% milk that's been sitting at room temperature. Then I'm going to be adding in my whole can of Rotel tomatoes. Stir that all up till it becomes combined. Then I'm going to let it sit until it starts to bubble and boil. Once it boils, I'm going to be adding in 1 cup of my pasta shells, and I'm going to cover that. Now, I followed the cooking directions on the package, and it said roughly 5 minutes. My pasta shells took about 7 minutes to cook fully, but I made sure that I was stirring my pot so that no shells were sticking together. All right, as you can see, everything has cooked and combined nicely, and now it's the fun part. We get to make this cheesy. So I'm going to be adding in 2 cups of this pre-shredded Tex-Mex cheese. You can add in whatever cheese you like. Tex-Mex is just our favorite. As you can see here, this pasta is so ooey gooey, cheesy, and melty. It is delicious. My little one loves it. My husband loved it. I love it. There was enough for leftovers for lunch, and let me tell you, this is a family favorite. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed these 4 super easy weeknight dinners that are all kid approved. Let me know down in the comments below if you try any. Tag me on Instagram, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.